thought I would do the music thing. Never wanted to play guitar when I was a kid. Got a family full of musicians. Very unappealing. I was like, screw that. I'm not doing that. They're trying to put me in lessons as soon as I was old enough to walk around or whatever. So I was like, nah. And then picked one up one day. All my friends were playing. Turned out I could do it a little bit. It was interesting. Right around the same time I got into, you know, all the classic rock stuff you get into as a young man. And yeah, got hooked. You start off with like the one string thing. It's like, oh, hell yeah. I learned like, you know, Smoke on the Water on just the low E string. And then, you know, you learn some open chords or whatever. You learn the intro to Stairway to Heaven or something. For me, I wanted to learn just songs. Like the concept of getting through an entirety of something, you know, because learning riffs is one thing. You can play a little bit of a riff, whatever, you know. But if you can get through, so Beatles songs and stuff like that for me was like a big thing. I think the song thing always was most important to me, and then yeah, even as time progressed and I got a little bit better and the lessons kind of shifted over to like, do you want to learn how to tap, or like, you know, should we try some fusion-y style? And that was the kind of the part that I was like, I don't really know, you know. And that's probably why most of my songs are still like, you know, open chord, just chugging along, kind of that kind of vibe. What I did initially was I used to play in open tunings a lot, which I guess is kind of like a Keith Richards or whoever else thing. But in a way it was like, if you change all the, you know, tunings and then you have no idea where to grab chords anymore, it's like you learn it from scratch again. It's almost more, it's easier to come up with something. You're not like, oh, well now I could go to the fourth, whatever, you know, where everything is supposed to sit, more or less, I don't really know, but puts you out of your comfort zone, which I think is important in a way. Guitar is it's the people's instrument, you know? Anybody could play guitar, you give it a couple, well, I don't want to say that, but anybody can, you know? It's very welcoming. Couple chords, you're ripping. You're playing Neil Young, no problem. You're rocking and rolling. If it feels the most like it's just coming out of thin air, or like you don't really understand where it came from or anything like that with guitar playing or songwriting or whatever, I think that, like, for me is like, how did this happen? You know, it's like, makes it special. I was probably 13, 14. But I remember being in Avenue Guitars, which is a guitar store in my hometown in Edmonton, looking over the counter, and you see, you know, the pack. It's got a hawk or an eagle on the front. Nice design, kind of psychedelic, you know? And I was like, yeah, I guess I'll get those ones, yeah. And then you flip it over, Jimi Hendrix, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, damn. So I used to play this guitar. I played for years and years and years. Hunk of garbage. Beautiful sounding guitar, love it, extremely hard to play, real piece of crap. But the problem with it is that it would break strings in the middle of a show. I mean, I still do it on whatever I'm playing now, but I was like the string breaking king for a while, you know? So, the nice thing about Ernie's, and I mean maybe other packs do this, but I don't care. You lay them out, they're right there. It's not some big wound up thing, no. It's telling you exactly which one you gotta get in a pinch to slap back on. You know what I'm talking about? And for a while I could change a string in like 30 seconds on the stage, plop it down, middle of a song sometimes, whoop, you know, you're good to go. I mostly play 10s for the most part. I've gone through phases of using 11s, or even when I wasn't as on top of everything and a little bit more of a broke man, I kind of, whatever I had was like, okay, we're playing 14s for the show, whatever, you know. as a younger guy, I think it was like, I was in this mindset where it's like, I couldn't possibly try to write a song until I can play as well as so-and-so or this and that or yada, 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 or until I understand this or that. I think for me, a big thing was going out to local shows in my hometown, or because we didn't get a lot of touring bands. We kind of live in the middle of nowhere in Canada, so it was just other kids my age. And I didn't really realize it was going on until I got into high school and I started going around. There were these kids my age that were playing these guitars, and they didn't have fancy guitars or fancy amps or anything. Couldn't play that well, you know, or some of them really could, but a lot of them couldn't. And it was like an attitude thing, and people were enjoying it. And it was, you know, so that kind of was like an eye-opening thing to me. It's like, oh, you can just do it, you know, you might as well just do it. I was working at a grocery store, a lot of classic rock on the radio. One thing I always had a rule, no guitar solos. No, not cool, not cool. All of a sudden, guitar solo in every song, and like the crappier, the better, you know? Super simple chord progressions, as few chords as possible. Keep them straight, major, minor, maybe a dominant seventh, no problem. And that was the record this record called Rock and Roll Nightclub. It was like the one that people, they were like, oh, this is cool. I was like, what? You know, I was kind of joking around in a way, but having a great time. And anytime I try to emulate something, I come so far off the mark, which is nice because then I end up with my own thing, but it's definitely, I can't really ever nail something, you know? It's almost like I had a style, specific style, changed it to something that I thought was so bread and butter, so regular, but now that, you know, the shimmering, weird, you know, really thin sounding, gross, like vibrato, guitar sound, everybody's like, oh, that sounds like Mac DeMarco, you know? It's like, so now it's like, it kind of worked inversely for me. I mean, maybe it's my generation, you know, ADHD, whatever we all have, I don't know. It's like, if I can't get something down on paper in like 5 minutes, if I can't just get it out, I just leave it alone, you know? It's like, you know, the whole idea of like coming back to a song after a day or something, I never do, you know, I just never do. The ease of the equipment is part of that, but I think also the ease of not really worrying about or like trying things or just leaving scraps or whatever, just, I don't want to say sloppy, but I want, you know, it's like just, the initial blast is often the most pleasurable. I did my last record on the computer and I had, you know, I had a bunch of plugins at my fingertips, and it was just like, I had to delete them. I was like, this is no bueno. And now I mean, sometimes I'll record at the computer or do a tape machine, but like, essentially it's like, it's printed there, maybe I'll flip the phase on there, but it's coming back out here, and this is all I got. You know, if I can't twist it with my fingers, it's not happening, like, not anymore. There's nothing wrong with having an insane crazy studio or insane crazy musicianship or insane crazy engineering prowess or whatever, you know, it's like if something works, it works. As long as you're getting something that you're happy with and that, you know, you feel cool about out of the, you know, back end of it or whatever, it's like, doesn't really matter how it was made, where you did it, who you did it with, if you did it by yourself, it's just kind of like, you just gotta, doing it is the cool thing. So, why not? No. Kids ask me a lot, like, how do I get on a record label? Like, how do I get on a blog? How do I, you know, you know, and it's kind of like, yo, don't worry about any of that. Like, just do it. If you like doing it, do it. And if it works out, that's great. If not, at least you're enjoying yourself. You know what I mean? Because for me, it's, you know, the internet and the videos and the yada, yada, yada. I'm not trying to be Mr. Sexy Rockstar guy. I'm wearing sports sandals right now. Whatever, you know? I didn't shower this morning. You know. And maybe that's my thing now, you know? I don't know, but it's just, you know, I just think, do you. Let it fly. Keep it real. and enjoy yourself. If you ain't trying to be something, then you're just being yourself, and then that's you. That's who you are. God bless it. You gotta eat, you gotta pay your rent, whatever. And then the music thing was something that I loved to do, so I did it as much as I could, you know? And now, like, it is my job, which is insane, you know? It's like a complete fluke and completely insane, but, yeah, I don't know. I think that keeping in mind that it is also something I love to do, and it's my hobby, and it's ridiculous that I make, you know, more money than I thought I'd ever make doing anything. Doing this is like, you just gotta try and keep it real. It's very bizarre.